Hey everybody, Jamie on the East Omaha. I'm going to talk about an issue that a lot of people have problems with, and that's kennel anxiety, kennel phobias, and separation anxiety. So, why do our dogs have these issues, right? And we have to ask ourselves, why is something as simple as a kennel putting my dog into an absolute panic attack? Okay, because we haven't conditioned it properly. Okay, if you want to make your dog comfortable in the kennel, then you have to give them a reason to be comfortable in that kennel. Okay, you have to rehearse being rewarded for going in the kennel. If your dog has already got a fear of going in the kennel, then it might just be a matter of playing and feeding around the kennel. So typically when I have a dog that has fear issues, whether it's fear of dogs, fear of people, fear of anything, right? We have to get them comfortable again around that trigger in order to get past the phobia so that we can start working with the dog. A lot of the times, fearful dogs will not eat, so you can't, you can put a T-bone steak in front of their face. This is an instance because Nico is very food uh, driven. But when a dog is really, really fearful, they typically won't even take food. So in the beginning, if I have a trigger, typically what I will do is I will walk up to the point that I call sub-threshold, okay? We're walking up to a known trigger, and I know that it puts stress in my dog, and I want to show that dog that they have options, okay? So the dog doesn't like going for car rides, freaks out every time they gotta go for car rides, freaks out every time they gotta go in a kennel. Then we have to start counter conditioning that relationship by giving the dog a functional reward. So typically, what I'll do is if my dog has an issue going in the kennel, I will just simply be walking toward the kennel. If I notice that my dog is already putting the brakes on, and is already showing signs of stress, I stop right there. Okay? I stop right there. I wait for my dog to give me a calming signal. Okay? And then and this is anything. Sniffing the ground, looking away, looking at me, doing anything except for showing stress toward the signal. So if my dog is stressing out toward the kennel, I'll wait. And when they give me another sign that they are not stressed anymore, either looking away, looking up at me, I say yes, and I walk away. I walk away from that stimulus 15, 20 feet, okay? It's what we call a functional reward. We're walking away from the item that is causing them stress. So this can be for dogs, for people, for whatever the circumstance. If your dog is afraid of something, usually going away from it makes you less stressed. Same for you. If you're deathly afraid of spiders, getting the hell away from the spider returns your heart rate from 200 beats a minute back down to regular heart rate. Okay? I'm not going to make you less fearful by putting a spider in your face. Okay? I have to show you that spiders are not that big of a deal. Spiders don't always bite you. Not all spiders are venomous. I have to build your confidence, okay? So if I have a dog who's really got some serious kennel phobia, then I have to build that confidence in that dog. And that might take me, a half a dozen sessions of walking up toward the trigger, stopping when I see the first sign of stress, that they see their stressor, they see it, I stop at that point. If my dog has already gone into like shutdown mode, back up your training. Back out, okay? You're gonna basically count that one as a misfire. You screwed up, you went past the threshold, your dog is freaking out, they're shutting down. So just back out, know where you were, where that shutdown point was, and add 5 to 10 feet to it, okay? You walk up to that trigger point, where they're not shut down yet, but they are noticeably stressed and noticeably starting to get a little worried, I stop right there and I just let my dog relax. They give me a stress relieving signal. They look away, they look at me, they look at the ground, they sniff the ground, they do anything except for stress out. I mark a yes, and I walk away from that trigger point, okay? Once my dog is starting to work at that distance, you'll see that that threshold becomes shorter and shorter and shorter until I can walk past that trigger with no consequence. It's called counter conditioning. Once the dog is starting to get to the point where they're no longer stressed, you probably will be able to feed them now, and you'll probably be able to feed them around that trigger. Now we are creating a positive, or creating that positive association with something that had previously brought deathly fear, okay? If I'm deathly afraid of spiders, and I go through this process, I'm afraid of them at 100 feet. I come up to 100 feet, nothing happens, I get the heck out. 100 feet, I get out. 100 feet, I get out. I'm like, oh man, spiders are not that bad, okay? So then I go to 80 feet, 40, 20. I start walking by the spiders. I'm like, wow, spiders, I don't know why I have this preconceived notion that spiders are going to kill me every single time I walk by them, okay? Now, every time I walk by a spider, I give you a check for $1,000. Holy shit. $1,000. Awesome. All I had to do is walk by that spider. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. If I like money, then I'm like, this is awesome. Now, if I don't care about money, probably not going to do me any good. If I get a trip to the Bahamas, and I like trips to the Bahamas, now I have something I'm working with. But you have to find what's good for motivation for that trigger. If food isn't good enough, you need to find something else. If toy isn't good enough, you need to find something else. You need to find something that that dog finds more enjoyable and finds rewarding, and then use that to counter condition that trigger point, okay? So I walk up to the kennel, I see the stress, I stop, I wait for the dog to relax, give me that relaxing moment, I walk away 10, 15 feet, I relieve the stress. I repeat that over and over, maybe 6 to 8 times per session. I call it a session. I don't want to overstress my dog out. Keep the session short, okay? Over time, you'll start to see that threshold shrink. You start walking past it, and then we start getting to work, okay? So to teach kennel, we're kind of doing the breakdown, right? So sometimes dogs don't like things over their head. So you can break your kennel down, and if your dog, once your dog starts getting acclimated to being around the kennel, a little bit of leash pressure toward the kennel, even 1 foot in the kennel, yes, they come out of the kennel, you get them a reward, okay? And make sure that it's not just one reward every time, okay? If you give them one reward every time you say yes, one piece of kibble, yes, 1 piece of kibble, yes, 1 piece of kibble, the dog will get bored, or the dog will get to the point where they're like, well, whatever, it's 1 piece of kibble. Now, yes just means that the reward is coming. You're not quantifying it or putting a quality on it as well. So sometimes if I really want to keep my dog guessing, I'll use dog food. Maybe I'll cut up some steak, cut up some chicken, cut up some beef liver, whatever. Find my dog, because you will see a different level for certain things. If I give my dog kibble, I mean, my dogs love kibble, so they love it. They really enjoy it. They work hard for it. It's great. Some dogs don't give a crap about kibble, so you gotta kind of change it up so that dog doesn't expect the same thing over and over and quit on you. So once I have my dog comfortable, I guide them in. Yes, they come right back out. Okay, food. Guide in. Yes, come right back out. Food. Yes. I'm not even telling her to go in the kennel. Yes. Okay, my dog has just figured out. Yes. I go in the kennel, I get food. I go in the kennel, I get food. Okay? Doggy drop the piece. Okay? Guide in? Yes. Dog comes out. Food. Good job. 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of kibble. Take. In. Yes. Comes back out. 1 piece. In. Yes. Come out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Yes. Now I've got my dog walking in there comfortably into the crate. They're offering it to me. They're no longer afraid of this object. This object is now a source of payment, money, how I earn my stuff. Okay. Now I make it harder to earn your reward. My dog is afraid of enclosures. Now we have a new level of possible stress. Okay, I guide my dog in. Unsure, not sure about it. Yes. Even 1 step at first. Let's show those dogs how to make the money, how to get rewarded. Okay. Yes. Okay. This is called free shaping. The dog is solving the puzzle. In the beginning, I can help them out, okay? But the second that I start to see the dog put 2 and 2 together, stop helping, because you eventually have to fade your help, yes. And when the dog figures it out for themselves, you have to do less repetitions because the dog's like, I know how to earn the money, yes. They become an active dog instead of reactive. They don't wait for you to drag them in. Nope. Nope. So she's in that pattern. She goes in. Yes. Okay. Now I have a dog. Now it starts to become like the threshold video. Dog goes in, dog has to wait. If the dog tries to come out, I block him with the body or I block him with the door, okay? Once I have the dog going in and out, no problem, no stress. Yes. I might have to reward, this might have to go on for a week until you get your dog comfortable, okay? But once you get your dog comfortable, you start adding components. My dog has been working great. New level of conflict, okay? Now I have a door, kennel. She goes in, I shut the door behind her. Yes. She comes out. She sees the picture of the door shut. Kennel. Yes. She comes out, she gets food. And I'm not latching it right now because I'm just doing reps. Okay? Nico, kennel. She goes in, I shut the door. Yes. I allow her back out. Okay? Now eventually, if I have a dog who's really scared of this stuff, there's also other tricks you can do. Some dogs, it helps with some dogs that have really severe kennel phobia, where they don't like the enclosure. Adding straw, like a big, like I'm talking fill half the thing up with straw. Fill half of your thing up with straw, and they get it, and it comforts them. It brings them. A lot of dogs, they kind of walk around it, okay, and they kind of fluff it up and kind of make it theirs, and they bed in it, and it makes them more comfortable in the kennel. So now the goal is to eventually take the straw out. So I'll have the dog in, they'll go in, they'll get comfortable. I'll maybe do that for a couple days. Now I take out half the straw level, or a third of the straw level, okay? So now I'm half full of straw. Now I only put like 2/3 of half in, okay? So a third of the level in the kennel. I put straw in, my dog gets comfortable. Now I put a quarter in. Now I put maybe just a little bit in. And eventually I take the straw out. But I want that dog to start getting comfortable So it might take a little while for that dog to get comfortable in your crate. And also, don't put your dog in the crate only when you leave. Like when you have a new puppy, you use exercise pens and crates and leashes to manage your dogs, and I will have my dog be in the crate while I'm at home, sitting and being quiet, okay? So, Nico, crate, kennel, okay? And what I will do, okay, I've got my dog in the crate, and they can be in the same room as me, okay? They're in the same room with me, and I keep a bowl. I keep a bowl of either liver biscottis, their dog food for the day, whatever, okay? And every time I walk by the dog and they're not panicking out of their mind, I say, yes. And I drop in a handful of food. And then I go about my business. Or I'll be in my office, my dog's in the crate, quiet, not whining, not losing their mind. You don't have to do anything to be rewarded, because we're rewarding being calm. You're calm? Yes. Food in the kennel. You know? 5 minutes goes by, my dog is calm, not freaking out. Yes. Feed him in the crate. Okay? And we just continue this, and we keep a schedule. So you keep a schedule. The dog is in the crate. If you were to put your dog in their crate every night at 10 o'clock, you set a bedtime for your dog. Put the dog in the crate at 10 o'clock every single time. Every single day. Dog is in the crate. You do that for a couple of weeks, you're going to classically condition your dog. Come 10 o'clock, I'm not even joking, come 10 o'clock, they go to their crate. With no instruction. They go in, because that's just how it is. Every night at 10 I go to the crate. I noticed when I was working at Mahogany, I noticed that whenever I would get in the shower, I would start ironing my clothes, and I'd put on my black clothes to go to work. I'd come out, and I'd put my dogs in their crate. Hey, that's enough. I put my dogs in their crate, and I'd go to work. And I repeat this every single day I had to work. Shower, iron, clothes, crate. Shower, iron, clothes, crate. Repeated every single day I worked. I noticed after about 2 weeks that every time I'd shower, iron, put my clothes on, I'd come out, my dogs are in a crate. I didn't say crate. I didn't tell them to go in there. But because of the classic conditioning, every single time I did those 3 actions, they would go to the crate. Every time I do the 3 actions, they'd go to the crate. Every time like clockwork, they would just go in the crate. So we need to create that pattern. Like the crate is just a containment device. It's not a huge deal. If my dog is afraid of it, then I counter condition. My dog is, you know, relaxing. Even waiting till my dog lays down. My dog lays down in a kennel? Yes. Handful of food. I see my dog laying down in a kennel? Yes. And I toss in a piece of food. You can also, when they go in their crate, you can take a Kong ball, or a Kong toy, fill it with a little peanut butter, then put a little bit of kibble in there, a little bit more peanut butter on top, put it in the freezer so it gets hard so they don't just blow right through the peanut butter. And every time they go in the crate, they get a nice chew filled with peanut butter and goodies, and it's great. So now that dog starts to have positive associations with the crate. It's not this jail, this awful, awful place that I only go when you leave and I'm home to fend for myself and try to figure this out. If you don't have a confident dog who's been crate trained and conditioned, that when you go in the crate should signify when you go in the crate, lay down, fall asleep. Lay down, go to bed. Lay down, go to bed. Lay down, go to bed. Crate means quiet time. Go in there, lay down, be quiet. Go in, lay down, be quiet. Condition it. Condition, that's what the crate means. Because whether you're anti-crate, pro-crate, whatever, there will be a point in time to where you're going to have to go out of town and you're going to have to put your dog either in a boarding situation, or you're going to have someone come to your house, and they're not going to be at your house 24/7. And if your dog is not used to not being crated, and you drop them off at a kennel, it's probably going to be a very stressful situation. So do your dog a favor, start crate training the second that they come home. The second they come home, start making that place an awesome space for your dog. If you start doing that early, then you don't have a problem. Another big thing is, don't ever let your dog out while they're whining or barking or freaking out. Okay? If you do that, you instantly created this mindset that if I whine, if I complain, if I scratch at the door, if I lose my mind, my mom or dad will let me out. Now you instill that hope that if I go crazy enough, I'll get out of the crate. Now you've got a crate buster. Now you've got someone that you've got to spend $500 to $700 on one of those diamond plate aluminum crates with latches. You know, I've seen some dogs do some pretty nasty things to some crates and really get hurt. I mean, where they'll bust teeth on doors, and they will hurt their paws. They get cut up, all because of no conditioning. So love your dog, take your time, show them that the crate is a good place and not something that should be worried about. Okay, don't only put them in there when you're leaving. Spend some time in the crate while you're at home. Create that positive association with the crate, and then you don't have any problems whatsoever with your dog when you have to go somewhere. You have them contained, you have them safe, no destructive behaviors. They don't repeat destructive behaviors when you're gone. And then eventually, once they've gone through the training program, you've taught them leave it, you've taught them what to chew on, what not to chew on. Your dog isn't chewing on the legs of your furniture, or destroying toys, or any of that stuff, and you've worked it out of sight, and you've built it up in duration, then you can leave your dog out. Who cares? But until they get to that point, crate your dog. Do them a favor. Okay? Give them a nice, safe place, alright? You guys have a wonderful night. I had so much fun making all these videos today. I really, really did. And I'll probably make a lot more tomorrow. So if you guys want to see a video or have a certain problem with your dog that you want to see a video done, email me, JAIME, at unleashomaha.com. You can private message me on the Unleash Omaha Facebook app, or you can dial me direct, 402-965-1114, and I'll get a video made for you to help your dog out. Alright, you guys have a wonderful night. See you soon.